Hi guys, this is just a quick one. Thinking about the trend we appear to be seeing in 40k with re-rolling dice. As you should have picked up on by now, I'm a Dark Eldar player, and I'm making this video fresh after a pounding from the new Necrons. I guess the first part of this question to cover is there a trend at all? So I've been aware of Warhammer for a long time, even if I've only started to play it regularly quite recently. And I'm sure the legions of people who've been playing this game since it was a gleam in the eyes of Peake, Livingstone and Jackson will be happy to correct me on this point. But I believe the idea of re-rolling failed dice rolls was originally limited to things like special war gear, I guess the equivalent of mastercrafted nowadays, or perhaps a psychic power or two. Then I guess we get the Necrons with their, what was it called? Something like the Terminator I'll be back rule, which I'm guessing would be one of the first instances of an army-wide concept of re-rolling failed armor saves, kind of en masse. And from there, I guess I'll skip a lot of history that I don't know about. But at some point we started to get the introduction of this feel no pain-like rule for perhaps specific squads or special units. And then, in 5th edition, we get a second army joining the Necrons on having a reroll on almost all of its models, and that's of course the Dark Eldar with their old Feel No Pain chart. What is it? Power from Pain chart. But it was still somewhat limited, as you had to actively work during the game to acquire this rule. And between then and now, and bearing in mind I skipped 6th edition, things seem to have exploded somewhat. Now the Dark Eldar get handed Feel No Pain, or Feel No Pain-like rules increasingly as just reaching another turn, and many models in our army start with it. In fact, Feel No Pain has become quite a common rule now, with I think the Blood Angels and the clan Ruakan Space Marines liberally using it, and of course the Necrons have retained their reanimation protocols. But re-rolling has snuck into other elements of the game too. You have Fleet, where you're re-rolling one of the dice on your movement. The general special rule, Shred, allows you to re-roll wounds. And again, this is quite common now, with most factions getting access to guns that have this rule. And it just seems everywhere you look, you can find a re-roll close by somewhere. And now I acknowledge I might well be a little bit biased, because I've just been reading the Necron book, in which various characters can reroll to hit just because, where formations just being next to another Necron buddy is enough to give almost anything a reroll to hit or to wound or to make an armor save or to make a Feel No Pain save or reanimation critical save anyway. Reading that codex is like every second rule is just a reroll, with a tenuous bit of fluff justification. So why might Games Workshop be doing this? I wonder if it has something to do with volume of dice that we always keep hearing about whenever the mechanics of the game get discussed. It feels good to roll a fistful of dice, doesn't it? I know playing Dark Eldar, this is certainly something I get the opportunity to do. And with all the multi-shot assault weapons and things like Tesla, and now the new radiation thing with the Adeptus Mechanicus guns. So much relentless out there, and snap shooting with heavy weapons now, and overwatching. It just seems like there's an awful lot more attack dice being rolled throughout the game. And perhaps the re-rolling saves is a response to all this extra firepower and all these re-rolling wounds and hits and stuff. It feels great to chuck all these dice around, but if there's nothing left to hit after about turn 2 or 3, then it's not going to be very satisfying for one of the players. And what would be a solution? Well, more dice layering, with rerolls. So reroll that armor save with your special foretelling power, and then reroll that failure with a Feel No Pain, invincible, I'll be back roll. And suddenly you've got the attacker with the buzz of rolling a barrel full of dice, and then the defender also getting a buzz of rolling and re-rolling all these dice to keep his models alive. Whether or not this really is a balance, I don't know, and it's probably a bad idea to ask me after playing those Necrons. But I wonder if that enjoyment of rolling lots of dice and seeing your models, your precious models that you built your whole list around, survive, is what GW is aiming for to encourage people to play the game. Well, I raise the question, and I don't know the answer. Have they got it right? Have they gone too far? Have they need to go further? Has anybody noticed it slowing the game down a bit? Where not only, it would take time to physically roll the dice, but with less models being removed, if that's the direction of the skew, then the combats and the shooting and the game in general might just be lasting that bit longer. I think I can say quite confidently for myself that this game already lasts a bit too long. And don't get me wrong, I love every minute of playing it, but it is becoming increasingly hard to justify the amount of time I spend doing it. And of course it's on me to get faster at playing, learn more of the rules. But even so, I wonder if all of this layering of dice is really necessary. And I haven't really decided yet. I mean, I do love rolling all those dice. Now I'll just ask a final question. As I only play the one army and haven't got a great experience against many other armies, have all the factions benefited equally from this new era of rerolling? I'm not complaining on the part of the Dark Eldar. I'm loving the way the army's working, and so I think that they've got it pretty much right here. But it certainly doesn't stack up compared to the Necrons. And the other army I know vaguely is the Space Marines, and they seem to be getting more kind of rerolls, more dice layers. But from what I've seen, it doesn't come anywhere near close to what the Necrons have the option to get. And I hope this doesn't sound like I'm having a go at the Necrons. I think they're an army with the odds skewed in their favour, but that's really fun to play for myself. But I wonder what everyone else's thoughts are on rerolls and what they bring to the game.